seeing films made by Stanley Kubrick, one of the major directors in the world. These will include the two independently made B-pictures, Killer's Kiss and The Killing, his very fine anti-war drama, Paths of Glory, the black comedy, Dr. Strangelove, and the final evening will be devoted to the great space epic, 2001, A Space Odyssey. Tonight we'll begin with the first television screenings of two short films made at the beginning of his career, followed by his screen version of Nabokov's notorious novel, Lolita. Stanley Kubrick was born in 1928 in the Bronx, New York. A prodigious talent for photography led him to becoming a staff photographer on Look magazine at the age of 17. His other great passions were playing chess, which he did frequently and very well, and listening to jazz. He was a movie fanatic from his early years. His favorite director is Max Ophuls, the master of camera movement and the maker of the wonderful Letter from an Unknown Woman. Not surprisingly, Kubrick was determined to make films himself. Through a friend at the famous newsreel company, March of Time, he found out that they spent $40,000 on a 9-minute film. Kubrick decided he could make one for a tenth of the cost. This was Day of the Fight, made in 1951. When March of Time went into liquidation, the documentary was bought by RKO, who gave Kubrick an advance to make his second short film, The Flying Padre. These two shorts are very early works. He was 23 at the time, and this is the main reason for looking at them. The Flying Padre is about the Reverend Fred Stadtmuller, a Roman Catholic missionary who flies around his 400 square miles of parish in New Mexico, tending his flock and his aeroplane. Flying, incidentally, used to be another hobby of Kubrick's. Day of the Fight, the longer and more interesting of the two, is about boxer Walter Cartier, a middleweight who is fighting in New York that night. The interest lies not so much in the boxing, but in the tensions leading up to the fight. What emerges from this modest film is the sheer grimness of parts of American cities and the bleak cold-bloodedness of the fight game. It employs one of Kubrick's constant devices, the voiceover, and there are shots in it which are used again as direct self-plagiarism in The Killer's Kiss. For example, the boxer examining his face in a mirror before the fight, and the shot of the boxer's opponent seen through the protagonist's legs and stool. The amazing thing is that in this savage way of earning a living, Mr. Cartier seems incredibly gentle and civilized.